Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Chill with Will. I'm Will, and welcome back to the show for yet another week of shenanigans. Now, this is the second attempt at recording tonight's episode because I was going to have a totally different episode about something else entirely, semi-Power Rangers related, but then something way more important happened. So we did a hard left, and I'm re-recording the entire podcast. So that's fun. And that's perfectly fine with me, because what happened today was I am stoked. To put it lightly, I am stoked. First of all, I just hope that you guys are all having a good week, have had a good week. Mine has been good. It's been even greater after today. I guess we're just going to jump right in. We're just going to jump right into it because I am so excited. So I guess we'll start off with a little backstory. So a couple weeks back, I was scrolling through Instagram like you do, and someone had shared, it was one of those like meme pages, I guess, for lack of a better word, but what they do is just post clips from, various decades or something, and like some of them are like themed. So like this one was like a 2000s throwback page basically, and so they did a whole thing about the 18s and the ABBA generation, which was the 18s' first album. And when they posted that, they tagged the Instagram handle of all four members of the group on the post. And I thought that was really cool because I wasn't aware of where these people were, because I've listened to their music for forever, pretty much ever since they debuted. And so I followed them all on Instagram or whatever. And, it just kind of did a tiny bit of stalking. Not really a lot. It was just kind of like a quick scroll through each of their pages or whatever. And it's just like, oh, that's cool, man. They're like just living their lives, doing their things. And all four of them are doing very different things. And I'm like, that's cool. Good for them. Happy for them. And then after I followed all four of them, I started noticing them posting clips on their Instagram stories of some of their old music videos, more specifically from the first album, the ABBA generation, which was, for those who are unfamiliar, it was basically an ABBA cover album, because the 18s were created basically as a means of kind of bringing ABBA's hits to a younger audience. And then they were so successful that after they debuted with the ABBA generation, they got to do their own music that was not ABBA covers afterwards, basically. That's what happened. They got so successful that they went on to make original music of their own. So they started posting little clips or whatever with the number 25. And I was like, what does that mean? And I thought about it a little bit more. And the ABBA generation came out in 1999, which made me feel very old. But it is very accurate. And I was like, oh, shit. This year, it had been 25 years. That's so weird. And so I saw that I've been seeing that for like a week or two. And then today, page 6, which I think is a division of the New York Post. I think they are part of the same news group. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, it's a legitimate news source. They posted that the 18s are reuniting for the 25th anniversary of the ABBA generation. And I could not believe this, because when I tell you guys, I fucking love the 18s. For a lot of people, for millennials, I think, they just remember a lot of the ABBA covers, which, that's fair. So like Mamma Mia, Gimme, 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 and Dancing Queen and all that fun stuff. But they also had their original music, which has like Upside Down, which is another big hit, most people know. And then they did another cover a few years after on their third album with which was a cover of Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. So, and that was in like the Lilo and Stitch movie, and that was kind of it had its own little moment. But they had a lot of original music that they were popular for, and they have been a group I have listened to ever since they came out. Listen to everything I can get my grubby little hands on in terms of their discography, and that has been easier said than done being an American fan, because all four members are Swedish, I believe, and so a lot of their main fandom focus is in the UK and in South America. So they had their moment in the US. It was really just kind of like, they were kind of like Radio Disney centric, like music. They were like in the same like era of like Hilary Duff and all those different types of groups, S Club 7 and Backstreet Boys. They even opened for Britney Spears on for the Oops, I Did It Again tour. And so they got around, but they were just, I don't know, for whatever reason, they just never got as big as I knew they could get. And I'm just not entirely sure what happened. I think it was just kind of like a thing where people didn't really know how to classify them, because it might have just been because they weren't an American act, so America didn't know what to do with them. I don't know. Whatever the reason was, it made getting a hold of a lot of their music very hard to come by, especially after the third album, which in America was Pop Till You Drop. And then, so when you look on Spotify, though, there's this other album called New Arrival, and I am not too familiar with that, because that did not come out in the US, to my knowledge. I think that was just kind of like a Sweden and UK kind of thing, Europe, that all those places. And it seems like the same as I think it's the same as like Pop Till You Drop, but there's like some other songs that just, for whatever reason, never made it over here to the States. Whatever the reasoning was, there's just some tracks that were harder to come by. And so that made kind of being a fan of them a tad little difficult. Back in the LimeWire days, I was scouring for all kinds of stuff, downloading all kinds of viruses onto my family's computer, because I was just trying to get the complete discography of the 18s, because I had all the physical copies of all the CDs and all this stuff. The ABBA Generation was the very first CD I ever bought as a child. I remember at 7 years old, I had my own money. I think it was either for my birthday or for something. And I went to a record store. Yes, a record store, a dedicated music store for selling CDs and stuff. I went with my dad, and I remember like digging through all the CDs or whatever, and then just seeing the 18s, and I was just like, I have to have this. I need to listen to all of this, because I had only heard Mamma Mia and Gimme Gimme Gimme, A Man After Midnight. And so I bought it, and then that was it. It was game over. They kind of like locked me in after that, because I would spend a majority of my childhood blasting that entire CD on my family's speaker system in the living room. We had like this giant like surround sound thing with like a 6-disc CD changer, and I would just live and just lose my fucking mind to this album. And then that happened again a year or two later when they released their second album, Teen Spirit, and then the third one, So it was just the same type of thing. Like, the 18s were the music of my childhood and why I like pop music so much now, I think. And they were just very formative. And I also think I can remember being a kid and listening to the ABBA Generation for the first time. And my dad was trying to explain to me that, the entire album, it was not music that the 18s, they themselves wrote. It was, just remakes of other people's music. And I think, I'm not entirely too sure on this. I I've only like loosely fact checked a lot of this stuff, and this is kind of stuff I've just seen in passing throughout the years. But I'm pretty sure ABBA was involved with the conception of the 18s and all that stuff. I definitely think they had to have some sort of involvement with the thing, and I think they even were involved with production on the album. I'm not entirely too sure if that's accurate, but you can double check and let me know. And I might just check after doing this for the sake of not sounding like a total ass. But they were definitely involved. I'm just not sure the extent of which ABBA was involved. But I remember my dad trying to explain that to me, and I can remember just being so offended because I'm like, no, what are you talking about? This is their songs. This is the 18 songs. They did Mamma Mia. They did Super Trooper. They did One of Us. They did SOS. All these bops. And I don't know. Like, this happening is just... I'm so excited about it. Now, as of right now, it just looks like it's a thing where they are performing at a music festival in Sweden, I believe. Two of them don't live in Sweden anymore, so they had to like kind of travel to kind of like, I guess, start doing rehearsals or something. But yeah, they are definitely getting back together for... It's for some sort of festival. I'm trying to skim through the article right now to see if I can find what they're going to. Okay, there we go. I found it. It's a Swedish music competition called Melodifestal. Let me try that again. Melodifestivalen 2024. So it's a Swedish music competition, and they are... It says they're going to perform. So they're performing something, probably, one of the ABBA songs, because, that was the debut album. That's the anniversary, is ABBA songs. So, yeah. So they're going to perform at this festival. I'm really hoping whatever festival it is has a very strong online presence. So that way we can get a good quality recording of this performance, because I would really like to see it. And I'm just really hoping something really cool happens from it, outside of just the performance. I'm really hoping they can, like, I don't know, maybe re-record something or record a new song. Yeah, I will take a single. Literally, I will take a single. The 18s have been gone since 2005. I will take a single. That is perfectly fine with me. I understand a lot of them, like the girls, Marie and Sarah, are mothers now. They all got families and stuff and other shit going on. But I would just really like to see them do a completely new thing for now, just so people can see the 18s like try a new thing again. It is kind of a weird thing, though, because, like, obviously they have the name the 18s, and a lot of these people are in their 40s. Yeah. Let me see if I can look at their ages on this. Yeah, they're all, like, 39, 40 years old. So, which is weird. I didn't realize they were so, I guess, close in age to me, because I'm 31, so they're really not that much older than me, but I don't know. I then again, I never thought they were... I don't know. I guess it's because the way they had them dress, for TV or whatever. Maybe it always just made them look a little older than they actually were. I don't know. Whatever the reasoning is, I am just fucking stoked for this, dude. I am so excited, and I just needed to get on here tonight and just talk about my love for the 18s and just how much they meant to me. And, something that's interesting, and one thing I really enjoy about music is something can mean something. Like, a song can mean something to you at one point in your life, but then after you experience so many other things in life, and as you get older, you can re-listen to an old song, and then suddenly you're listening to it more intently, And if you like pick up on lyrics and stuff, a song can like gain a whole new meaning that you never realized it had before, just because you just kind of, you don't pay attention to too much, stuff like that and subtext as a kid, especially like when you're listening to like a pop album or something like that. You don't think about like the lyrics of music or whatever. Like as a kid, I just heard all of the songs and I was just kind of dancing my ass off and having a good time. But a lot of those songs, just kind of as I've gotten older, I've always just kind of had their albums in my rotation and just listening to them at different times, and just like, moods coming and going of just kind of like, diving into their discography. And, different songs of theirs have, gotten different meanings to me during different points of my life. And they definitely mean different things now than they did when I was a kid. And I don't know, like that's something I really enjoy about music. And it's just something so cool. And I wish people would understand that and just kind of try not to generalize stuff just because, they were a teen tween group that made pop music. I think a lot of people can hear that kind of descriptor and just assume that there's no kind of meaning behind any of the music that they did. But I would disagree. I personally would disagree. I've listened to a lot of their songs, and I've enjoyed a lot of them for different reasons. Like even the ones that weren't singles or, weren't really well advertised in the U.S. They made a lot of good music, and I'm just so glad they are getting an opportunity to get back together and perform together. I think that's going to be really cool. I really hope a lot of people support their comeback. I believe they're working on something even more, because they made a 18's Instagram account. So, and all 4 members follow it. So I'm assuming it's like something legit. And so there might be an attempt at a push for something, bigger outside of this one performance at a music festival in Sweden. But whatever it is, I'm really stoked. I'm really stoked about it. And I just wanted to share my excitement with all of you tonight and just kind of give you that little I guess a deep dive on my sort of like history with music, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. This group has meant a lot to me, and I'm so excited for this. Like, I keep saying it. I've said it like a million times in just these 20 minutes, but I'm stoked for this, dude. And I really hope people show out. I hope if you listened to the ABBA Generation and, Upside Down and Floor Filler and all those other like hits from back in the 2000s, I really hope you take a chance to go on to Spotify. Their entire catalog is there, probably on Apple Music too, all the other, streaming services. Check them out, like listen to all their albums, and, just kind of like give it a chance. I think a lot of people will enjoy what the 18s have to offer for pop music, outside of the stuff that they already know. Hi, it's Will from After I Finished Recording the Podcast. I wanted to chime in real quick because if you have never listened to 18's music before, or have only heard the singles, I did want to offer some suggestions for some of my personal faves that weren't really like the big hits that they were known for. So if you're only going to check like a handful of tracks out, these are my suggestions. Take them or leave them. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm just offering my suggestions. First is Heartbreak Lullaby. That's from the New Arrival album. Firefly, For All That I Am, and Back for More. Those are all from Teen Spirit. And then Closer to Perfection is from Pop Till You Drop. So I didn't throw in any of the ABBA songs in there because, I mean, if you don't know ABBA's music, then I don't know how to help you with that. That sounds like a you problem, and I don't know what to do about that. So anyway, back to me getting ready to close out the rest of the show. So that's it. It was kind of a shorty tonight. It was just kind of me gushing about the 18s for 20 minutes, but you know what? I don't care. I was just really excited to that this happened, and I wanted to share it with you all. And if you guys are excited for this comeback as well, let me know. If you have listened to the 18s before, let me know your favorite songs by them. You can leave them in the comments of the YouTube video, or DM them to me on Instagram or TikTok or wherever. Just let me know, and we will fangirl together about this whole thing. So that's gonna be it. So thanks for tuning in tonight, you guys, and I will see you next week for another Friday Night Chill.